Sit back, strap in, and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
Alrighty there. Welcome to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. I'm TC Restani, your host, emanating from the palatial podcast penthouse, and I'm here with some esteemed experts on the panel tonight. Going around the horn right now and introduce my mentor, Mr. Ricky Bittman.
Up and away. Hey, how you doing, TC?
I'm up and away. Hey, excited back here because we're here,
Yeah.
and we have a special guest with us tonight.
We always do.
But before we get to the special guest, we have to talk about the greatest celebrity stalker of all time, Mr. Sharpie himself, South Boston Jeff.
Hey, what's happening? Great to be here as well. Great to be, I mean, good to be out and about, you know.
Unbelievable. Conspicuous by his absence on the dais, but he is in the building, I heard. Quincy Briscoe is in the building, and he'll be joining us later. He's doing some errand for Abby.
Yeah, he's running around playing grab ass somewhere.
He's doing something out there, so hopefully... Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I just saw him on one of the security monitors running around like a prowler out there.
Exactly.
We'll get his new eye milk drinking ass in here later on in the program. But ladies and gentlemen, returning to the palatial penthouse, he was getting ready for season 2 of the Rundown with CJ. I could be talking about none other than my friend and everybody's favorite pop culture expert, CJ.
Hey, thank you very much, TC.
What's happening there, CJ?
Not too much.
You're back here. I mean, you had a little hiatus, I heard. You were out traveling the world with the family and doing some fun things, but I got a call from Abby saying, I got a call from CJ. I can't do the British accent.
I was going to say, Jesus, that's terrible.
He goes, I got a call from CJ.
There you go.
And he says he's got to get off his ass because he's getting tired and he wants to go back and do the rundown. And I said, well, all he has to do is book time through you. So there you did.
I did.
And immediately after we were this recording of this program, we're going to be taping your program.
That's right. I'm excited to be back for season 2.
It's going to be great. And I know, Ricky, you said before we recorded this that you're going to go out to your car and get us some fun gifts that we're going to present on his show.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that.
The hot off the presses.
Hot?
Hot with 2 T's.
Hot off the presses.
Hot.
Okay.
Hot.
It's stolen?
The emphasis is on hot.
Hot as
Like
in,
Benny Hill hot.
Oh,
You mean to acquire stolen? I think he's just yeah.
Wow, well, I'm looking forward to the hot merch that you're going to be giving us, and my eyes are looking at something off camera right now that I'm looking at. Now that's beyond hot.
Oh, yeah.
That's just woo.
That was an investment, but well worth it.
That's an investment. But CJ, since the fans haven't heard from you well, you're very active on social media. Why don't you give out your Twitter handles out there?
Fans can find me at The Rundown CJ on Twitter or
Right.
at Cardiac Drop on my personal page.
Cardiac Drop. I almost had one of those a couple of years ago, but we're not going to get into that.
And my old nickname from my EMS days.
Oh, really?
Yes, right.
Emergency management.
No, emergency medical service.
That
I
was
was a
close.
paramedic for 30 years.
You were a paramedic.
It was.
So if anything happens, we can count on you,
If
right?
anyone drops here tonight, you're on your own.
Well, we do have good insurance down here at Restani Productions.
Yeah, but I want something to get me to the hospital so I can
I
use the
got you,
insurance.
brother. I
All
got
right.
you.
Well,
You're in good hands.
Well, Quincy may have his new motorcycle around.
Yeah, but he hasn't
I'd
fully
rather walk.
recuperated from his eye
Well,
surgery.
you would know that. You're the medical guy now.
I love you, Quincy, but you're not driving me to the hospital on that
he's
thing.
still look at him. He's looking at the monitor. He's still roaming around out there.
needs
Like
to
he's
be
chasing.
I
medically
think he can
clear.
hear us. He just flipped the bird.
Look at it. Look. He looks like one of the apes walking in Planet of the Apes. Maybe he's in a short ceiling room. I don't know, but it's on the monitor. It's very impressive.
Maybe he's trying to. Never mind.
Wait a minute. Maybe he's got the monkeypox that they're going to be bringing back out again. You heard about that?
Yeah.
It's election season coming up.
Yeah,
They have to come
of
up with
course.
something.
Yeah.
But South Boston Jeff, I know you love going to the Comic-Cons and whatnot.
Yeah,
And have you seen
absolutely.
some of the big names that are coming to these Comic-Cons that we're going to be going to in the upcoming future?
Well, I've had my eye on it and everything, but like I said, I'm looking forward to finally getting Corey Feldman on my machete. That's something that's been trying to happen and everything. But other than that, I mean, I've already, 2 years ago I met Cheech Marin. Now it's time to meet Tommy Chong. So But yeah, like I've been had my eye on it. What are you talking about?
Oh, unbelievable! What
you talking about,
What you
Willis?
talking about, Willis? And he won't be there. He actually did chill her once, Gary Coleman.
There's a good documentary coming out on Peacock at the end of this month about Gary Coleman. Looks
Really?
like they put his ex-wife in the hot seat.
Really?
They pretty much confront her. Did you do it? So one of those hot-hitting.
Did she off Gary Coleman?
I think she did.
Why? Was it like an OJ deal, but reverse?
Yeah, I think he was physically abused by that woman. I always did. I always
Okay.
maintain that.
All right. Well, we'll find out. We'll have to in-depth
Which
investigate.
looks very hard-hitting, as they say.
Hard hitting. Speaking of hard hitting, CJ, did you see those pictures of Daisy Ridley in that magazine there, Women's Health?
Did I ever?
Oh man, she's it for me these days.
She's a knockout for sure.
Oh, she can punch me in the face if she
Now,
wants.
were you reading Women's Health when you came across these pictures, or did you see an article?
No, dude, I actually
I just want to
We stalked this woman.
I know he does.
No. I saw these on a Twitter feed at
Okay, that's all I'm
at
asking.
like 5 a.m. when Women's Health came out. They said people were like, all the Daisy fans were like, "Oh my God, did you see this?"
I thought you went through Abby's mail. Oh, Women's Health. Let me see it.
Wait a minute. I think that magazine is missing from the lobby.
No comment. No comment.
In the old days, I'll tell you, Cosmopolitan with 3 sisters, that got me through
What
puberty.
about National Geographic?
No. People always talk about National Geographic. Trust me, when I was a kid
Cosmo.
and they left the Cosmo in the bathroom, thank you, St. Joseph.
See, I had perverted cousins, so they always had Playboys.
Yeah, but there was something about the hunt, Back, remember we always talk about that,
no,
finding
well,
it
this
and-
was the hunt.
Yeah, but you just took it where you can get it. In my case, my sisters weren't bringing Playboys home, okay?
You never know.
No.
Well, yeah, I guess you do know. You live with
I
them.
know now, so.
Unbelievable. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome meeting Corey Feldman down in Chile. And I understand through the grapevine that you may be actually joining us down there, CJ?
Yeah, I was
Brave
telling
man.
Ricky before the show. I got kind of roped into going on this road trip, and I'm not all that upset about it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Well, you
excited.
haven't gone yet, so.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
when
we
heard
go
the
to once we get to the Ryan's Deli, you're gonna get the sandwich of your dreams.
Right.
That's what I hear. As long as they have a nice, I heard they have an outstanding Reuben sandwich.
They have the outstanding regular Reuben, the outstanding turkey Reuben.
Ooh.
And Jeff, you can concur. These things are like Andre the Giant footprints. These things are huge.
Oh yes.
These
With
things
the
are,
sour pickle.
have to be the sour pickle.
Well, I'm in.
Speaking of
Free lunch.
getting back to Daisy Ridley with the pickle fork, the inside joke, but you know what that means.
Yeah.
Isn't a Reuben with turkey a Rachel?
No, there's actually there's what is that, Fresnel or what's it called? There's like there's two things they call it, like Fresnel or Rachel.
Fresnel?
I don't know what that is, but maybe I'm
Hansel? Hansel?
isn't Fresnel
I
in
remember that. That was a Looney Tunes cartoon.
isn't Fresnel in California?
Fresno is in
Okay.
California.
If you can go out there and go to the Ryan's Deli website, isn't it called like Fresnel or Rachel? I don't know.
Well, they say that the Rachel sandwich is a close cousin to the Reuben. It's instead of corned beef, it's turkey and sour.
See?
Okay,
I was right again.
it was.
I know my
But
food.
you can have the combo of both.
So you
Yeah,
just said
that's
that
good.
they had a turkey
Yeah.
Reuben,
Right.
So that's a Rachel Reuben.
Yes, like I said,
That's
the
a double
sandwich.
win.
Sounds like somebody's on the
it's like I
Partridge
said,
Family.
build the sandwich of your dreams on a nice bagel of your choice. It's
I was telling him that those garbage sandwiches you get down there in a bagel. It looks like you just went through and just took everything that they had to offer and put it between a bagel.
That sounds good.
But it's good. I mean, you have to see the look on Jeff's face when you know something's good when Jeff's very quiet.
Yeah.
And he makes that face. And I've never seen someone enjoy a sandwich as much as Jeff.
Like my old man, he enjoyed his food. That's a good thing.
It is.
It always comes back to food on this show. We were talking last week about the chicken cutlet with meatballs.
Oh, did you get one?
No, not yet.
Why not?
Why? I just haven't gotten around to it.
Well, inquiring minds, you talk about it, they have to know.
I'm trying to think of what. No big eating plans this weekend.
It's not really a happening weekend,
No, I'm going down to the Cape though to see Ashley McBride. Tosh Lent and I are going down to see her.
Ashley McBride.
Yeah, she's a good singer.
She related to Danny McBride.
I'll have to ask her.
You know that
That's what
actor.
they tell me.
That actor.
I don't know who's he.
He was in that bootleg version of Land of the Lost, the movie with Will Ferrell.
Oh, I never even watched.
And he was he's been also in all those disaster comedy movies with like
Seth Rogen and
Jonah Hill and
what's his
Yeah, I'm not
name?
familiar with
James Franco and
Those people.
Danny McBride, yeah, he's kind of like the bad guy of the group.
Okay, did you ever see Tropic Thunder, the movie?
No.
Okay, forget it.
But I want to see that.
Okay, all right, here we go right here. Cold, I'm looking at the thing on the website here. Going back to the regular.
The sandwiches?
It's regular or Fresser? F-R-E-S-S-E.
Fresser.
Fresser. What did I say, Fresner?
I don't know what you said, but now it makes sense.
All right, whatever it is. Whatever. The biggest one possible.
I'll have the biggest one possible. Make it snappy.
I'm in a goddamn hurry. So back to the rundown here. CJ, I'm loving the shirt you got on there. You got a Rubik's Cube that looks like it's melting in toxic waste.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Where'd you get that?
that was a gift from my wife because she knows how
Retro
I like this
you are?
retro shit. Yeah, so it's a picture of the Rubik's Cube just melting
Really?
into like a puddle.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Have I ever solved a Rubik's Cube?
When you were a kid, did you peel off the stickers to put them all in the right order?
No, I did not.
No, I
because
broke
had
it apart and then
That's the
put
way
it
to
back
do it.
together that piece by piece.
The
No,
center
I had
square.
OCD. I couldn't do that.
The center
but I
square
never
had a little
solved it.
lid, and you pop the lid off, and then you unscrew it. And there's just like this little multi-hinge thing in the middle that pieces all hook onto.
Okay.
So
now, was that a Freudian slip? Speaking of the center square,
That's right. Well, yeah, you're coming up. We want to talk about we're fresh off the press.
speaking of fresh off the presses, there we have had some major passings.
Yeah.
Since our last
Yeah,
episode.
I made note of them.
So if you're listening to this in order right now, if you're listening to the podcast on our YouTube channel, this episode is actually recorded after the one that's airing next week.
I'm already confused.
All right. So the one you're going to hear next week is the one we recorded where it was around Elvis's
Yes,
thing, but not
yes.
the one we talked about Elvis. That was a separate one.
That was a separate
It was
one.
the other one before. It was like what was the headliner? It was like you came up with a cool title for the episode.
LSD,
LSD Elvis,
cataracts,
cataracts,
cataracts, LSD, and steak fries. I
and
think,
steak
something
fries.
like that.
Okay, if you listen to that one, this is recorded after that one, but this is that one's gonna air after this one. Does that
And I
make any
listened
sense?
to- Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad someone's paying attention down here. So you have, once again, Ricky Bittman, you have some notes in front of you.
Well, I was just preparing some notes for the show, just in case. And yes, Peter Marshall, the host of Hollywood Squares many, many years ago, has passed away, 98 years old.
You know what his real name is?
What?
Ralph Lecoq.
How did I not find that out in the story I read today?
Ralph Lecoq. He's Ralph Pierre Lecoq.
Lecoq.
So he just took Peter, and then I think some manager gave him his name Marshall.
You know, one of the things you got to think about Peter Marshall, he played straight man to how many comedians? When you
How
think
many people
about it?
run? How many people on the Hollywood
That's
Squares?
what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, just and to be a straight man, to play the straight man, it's one of the hottest jobs in Hollywood because good straight men are very, very hard to find.
Correct.
The one that comes to mind would be the guy with Groucho, whose name escapes me at the moment. Was great, probably one of the best ever. But being a good straight man, he worked with, like you said.
Who do you think of some of the top straight men in the in
Like
the
I just
business?
said, I can't think of the guy's name that worked with Groucho, but he was number one. I mean, straight men. Think about it. They're few and far between.
In my opinion, in my world, it's
Yeah.
Gorilla Monsoon to
Well, there
Bobby
you go.
Heenan.
Well, yeah.
But I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
But what's on the list there?
Well, Greg Kinn passed away today.
Wait a minute, Greg Kinn?
Greg Kinn.
I lost on Jeopardy?
No, that was
Oh, that's
was
Weird Al.
That was Weird Al. And I was thinking the same thing. He remember the other song he had? He had two hits, Jeopardy, and what was the other one?
Well, let's ask the retro experts
You must
over
know.
here. Jeff must know. You must have an album from Greg Kinn somewhere.
No, not me. Not even in my Dr. Demento section.
Really?
If I played like 5 seconds of that, would we get kicked off YouTube?
Not really, but if we'll just
Should we not risk it?
we'll just play it. Who cares? We can. I can always bleep over it in case
All
it
right,
does.
right. Let me see, because this I want to see. This is kind of like my
I
trivia
lost
game.
in Jeopardy.
If people can name this song.
Baby.
All right, what's the name of this song?
Don't Fear the Reaper?
Oh yeah.
Anyone?
What is it?
You know how he goes, they don't ride them like that anymore. And everyone thinks that's the name of the title. The name of that song is The Breakup Song.
Oh, okay.
That was one of his two
Is that a
hits.
sequel to Our Love's in Jeopardy?
Well, no, it was his other hit.
Okay, but he was maybe.
Well, maybe it is, yeah.
In
But
a
maybe
mood.
that's, but now, where else? No, I remember one of the times I saw Greg Kinn, I was kind of impressed that they talked to him. Back when wrestling was about to explode, they did the war to settle the score.
Which was in 1984. 5.
MTV meets
Right.
professional wrestling. And they interviewed all these rock and rollers. Dee Snider was one of them. They were talking to all these band members and stuff like
Was
that.
that the one where they interviewed Danny DeVito and Andy Warhol?
That was
And Joe Piscopo?
That was after the match. But
Oh,
this was
okay.
the water settled the score was just sort of Alan Hunter and Mean Gene Okerlund in the studio.
Okay.
And they were talking, and they would go to cuts of people like that, and they interviewed Greg Kinn, who really kayfabed it up to the point where he was going along with it. So finally, Gene Okerlund put him on the spot, and he said, "So who do you think, Greg? You know, when these two behemoths meet, who's going to come out victorious?" And he goes, "Well, I hope it doesn't come to that." They cut away right away because they knew that was like, it's going to come to that.
Was Quincy answering that question?
That does sound like a Quincy answer. And who else died? The great Gina Rowlands passed away.
Gina Rowlands?
Yes, from
Gloria. That
great
was my
movie.
favorite.
Yeah.
Always my favorite and everything. Yeah, Gloria. But she was married to the John Cassavetes or
Yes,
something.
John
everything.
Cassavetes, yes.
Who was,
And-
drank himself to death or something
Yep.
like that.
Now,
But,
I found out by looking into this that a lot of his films are completely improvised. Like
Really?
there really is not a lot of dialogue that's I mean, it's kind of like you used to say. Here's point A, here's point B, just
Right.
get there somehow. You used to always say that in the studio.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
a lot
not
of it-
many movies and everything, but yeah, you can tell it's kind of like that in Rosemary's Baby and everything.
Yeah.
He's just working with, he's just improvising.
Yeah, but that Gloria though, New York City plays a role in that film. I mean, just
Oh
the
yeah,
beauty of it.
the subways and
Yeah.
the slums and yeah, it's one of those movies where 1970s New York is
Yeah.
the grittiness and everything.
Is that where that song Gloria came from?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
It has nothing to do with All in the Family.
Amazing.
No.
She was 94. years
94.
young.
Yeah.
Well, Peter
Yeah.
Marshall was
Beautiful in
98.
61.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't bad looking head.
And also, Wally Amos. Does anyone know who Wally Amos? What is Wally Amos famous for?
Jeff?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
No. Famous Amos cookies. He died.
Oh, that dude.
yeah,
right.
2
Famous
years ago he
Amos.
passed away.
2 years ago.
2 days ago. I'm sorry. He was 88 years old. He was worth $20 million, and he died in Honolulu, Hawaii. So those cookies were good to him.
And he was on the episode of Taxi,
Taxi.
during Latka's Cookies.
Yeah.
Why is the famous Amos?
And
I
he
gotta be
died in
honest with
Hawaii.
you.
He was known as the Cookie Kahuna.
Yeah.
The Cookie Kahuna.
I was never a big fan of Famous Amos. I never got it. They were okay.
You've never had the munchies like me.
Everything
famous,
tastes good
yeah, I
when
think,
you get
yeah. I
They're
think
better than
Famous
Chips Ahoy,
Amos,
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they would probably be better than Chips Ahoy.
Yeah, step up from the Chips Ahoy, but not a huge step up.
Yeah.
I'd prefer the Chips Ahoy.
Wow, that's a lot of famous Amoses there.
Yeah, just it was a sad week.
It is a sad week. And I want to make mention of one of my very longtime close personal friends. I haven't talked to in a long time, but the late, great Kevin Sullivan
Yeah.
passed away. For those of you wrestling fans out there, Kevin Sullivan was known as the Games Master. Then he became the Taskmaster. And he was the guy who was very influential backstage in the world of professional wrestling. He was the booker, the matchmaker, basically like the film director in a movie who sent the storylines into different tangents
He had
and
some great
whatnot.
storylines,
His
too.
angles back there. And he was a longtime friend of not just me, but also Bull Montana.
Yeah.
Him and Bull Montana were friends before wrestling, but they used to see each other. They weren't too far apart in age. I mean, Bull's, 68, and Kevin was 74.
Yeah.
And they were huge Red Sox fans. And Bull and Kevin actually made a kinship prior to wrestling at Fenway Park.
Really?
Yeah. And there's a famous picture that's on the screen right now. This was June of 1996 at a WCW house show in Hartford, Connecticut, where Kevin Sullivan is wrapping Bull Montana's head in athletic tape. The reason for this was we all got to the building early and Kevin got us in there. Bull was a no-show for the car pickup, and he took a bus or a train. I have no idea how he got to Hartford. And there was a rap on the metal door as we were down there. It's just screaming, "Kevin, let me in!" And we were like, Kevin looked over at the security camera and goes, "Get that dingbat in here right now." And he came up to me screaming. Bo was like, "You pick me up. You weren't there." And then Kevin sneaking behind him, putting the finger on the thing. "Shh, don't do anything." And that's when he wrapped him up in the head right there. Kevin loved Bull Montana. And Kevin was a great man and a very creative person. And wrestling benefited because of Kevin Sullivan.
And he's from this area.
He's from Lexington. Yeah.
I can remember when I was a youngster and I was watching wrestling and they interviewed him, or he came on when that was the first time I saw him. I was like, this dude's from Boston. There's no question. I
Oh,
mean,
he still had his accent.
He did not hide his Boston accent whatsoever.
He left Boston in like 1977 and moved to Florida and whatnot. And even to his dying day, he called everybody brother.
I remember the tying you to the Tree of Woe.
The Tree of Woe.
I remember the Tree of Woe.
Do you know where he got that from?
No.
That was in Conan the Barbarian.
I should have known that. There you go.
Yeah, CJ showing the picture of the panel down here. The ones who can't see the monitor because the backs to it.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
But yeah, the Tree of Woe. Remember when that's when James Hillier contemplate this, crucify him on the Tree of Woe.
That was a good name. You
sound
only
like
steal from the
Brian
best.
Blessed right there.
Huh?
You sound like Brian Blessed right there.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Godspeed, Kevin. And oh my God. CJ has his cell phone on here. He's going through pictures of Bull, Montana that are on our website or social media. And he's asking, who are these people? The people right there in the picture, you can see it on the screen right now. That is a picture of Bull, Montana with his bull hat.
A tag team.
Managing one of the greatest tag teams in the history of hardcore wrestling, the Public Enemy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge. Now, Johnny, both of them are no longer with us, sadly.
Really?
But remember that infamous story when Bull encountered a lady of the night down in Rhode Island and had that wonderful catchphrase that we repeat off the air?
Yeah.
That picture was taken hours before that incident took place.
Just think, someone's life was about to change.
For $25. And if we ever have an uncensored version of this or you come to one of our parties, we'll tell you that story.
Yeah, we'll tell that story.
Oh, my God.
But we're not going to tell it on the air.
Tell it on the way down to Chilla.
Oh, well, CJ already knows it.
Oh, okay.
He's already laughed about 1,000 times about it.
Well, you'll be busy. You'll be driving.
It's a sewer of a story.
Boy, they threw a net over you, kid.
No. We made the deal. I usually, when we go to these these Chilla trips, Jeff can testify. He's been on them a million times. I'm the one who gets stuck driving down and back.
But,
But he told me the conversation for 5 hours will keep me awake and energetic.
Oh, absolutely. Depending on who we have in the car with us. We're going to have Jeff in the car.
Who's mean?
But if we have either Dana or
Tip?
Sorry, who's your key?
Who's your key? Well, who do you think would be the better conversation piece to have in the car, Jeff? If one out of the three of them?
not that smelly guy.
No, not Mario.
No. Probably John.
You think? Do you think he would be the one?
Well, he has the best stories and everything,
Well,
but he's definitely but he's a pretty boring guy.
I think Dane is the key.
Yeah, he is. Pretty
That would be
entertainment.
wonderful.
Now, is that the guy
CJ?
that doesn't bring any money?
Yeah, he doesn't bring money or
Is he
anything.
the guy with the big bankroll?
No. That's
No.
Steve. That's Steve.
This guy with no bankroll.
Yeah, he looks like a living Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Jeff, that's a wonderful story. CJ, have you been collecting autographs long?
Oh, my God.
You starting a second thinking now, huh?
And he's one of the originals.
Oh, he's one of the OGs that I met on March 3rd, 1990
The
in
original
Harvard Square.
Hounds.
The original. These guys have been doing this since the 70s.
So now, wait a minute. Refresh my memory, because I love asking this question.
Okay.
How does the day start? I love this.
the Chilla
The day of the Chilla Theater.
Sun comes up.
from my point of view.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the whole or the other.
Well, just how it
characters.
goes. I mean,
Okay. Well, it doesn't start that day. It starts the night before.
Okay.
I have Abby rent me a car. All right, because I'm not taking one of my cars down there. So the rent
Seats about how many?
depending on how many you're going. So it usually fits about six. You know, six passengers.
Yeah, God.
So it's usually myself,
All with digestive issues.
SBJ, and the three OGs. Okay, and a couple of maybe one other straggler, but you know, not all the time. So I should say there's what? Yeah, there's five of us that go down. I get my car, like I said, the night before. I get up real early on a Friday because it's a Friday. We're driving down to New Jersey, Parsippany, New Jersey. And the first person I pick up is Jeff. And Jeff, every time I get to his house, he's always late and I have to call him. And he comes out with his little, what's that toilet seat pillow that you have?
That's the rape dick. Well,
That's right.
the rape dick. Well, it says it. That's what it says right on it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a therapeutic pillow.
It's the rape dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the rape dick pillow.
rape dick, yep.
And he's got about a bag full of, I don't know what other shit you have in your bag.
Oh, just edibles and little joints and whatnot for the stops and everything. Yeah.
Okay. So then we pick up Jeff and he has a coffee and whatnot. Then we have to get stuck going over to South Station.
Oh.
From where we are on the North Shore to South Station on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
You know how long that takes to get in there?
And this is the Winnie the Pooh fella?
So I zigzag.
Okay.
Through like Medford and go over by Bunker Hill and go through by the Boston Garden and zigzag in that way. And it's not much easier than going from 93.
Why can't he just get on the orange line?
They don't know how. Okay?
Would make your life a lot easier.
It's not rape dick. It's repeatic. It's a therapeutic pillow.
If Jeff says it's rape dick, then it's rape dick, CJ.
Therapeutic. It's spelled the same way and everything.
my
Thus, we can
God.
say it on the air.
It's after hours, you know?
It's his pillow. He can call whatever he wants.
Right. So then we get to South Station, and they're always late, or they're on the other side of the building. I tell them specifically.
I'd be saying, all right, done.
I go, guys,
I'm going home
specifically,
now.
where the buses drop you off. Okay. So we get them.
We didn't take the bus.
They get in the car, and they're like, as soon as they get in the car, Jeff can contest this with his rape dick pillow. As soon as they get it, the door isn't even shut. TC, who's your key? After we've had 27,000 phone calls.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked you to tell this story because I don't know. CJ's looking kind of.
Okay. All right. So then I get them, and then we have to go out to the Sheridan out on the Mass Pike out in Framingham, because that's where we're meeting the other crew. So they go in there, and of course, what do they have to do? We got to use the bathroom. And they
So
come
they're
out.
not staying at the Sheridan. They meet you there.
They just meet there. They park their cars there. So then they all go into the bathroom and they come out with the free complimentary fruit. They're not even staying at the hotel.
Dear God.
All right. So I got banana peels in the back or what other crap. This is a rent-a-car. I always get the lost damage waiver because you never know with these people.
Yeah.
So then we're on our way. We're on the road again.
And this is about what time of day?
By the time we get to the Framingham,
Yeah, and you leave Framingham, it's about
it's probably, depending on traffic, about
9:30, 10.
10, 11, 10,
Oh, wow,
10:30,
it's earlier
somewhere
than I
in
thought.
there.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. So we're on the road. And our next stop is Ryan's Deli, which is exit 65 off of Route 84 in Vernon, Connecticut. And it's in a strip mall, and it's been there for 1,000 years. Every celebrity in the world goes in. There's a picture of William Shatner eating a sandwich on the wall in there.
Nice.
So we go to the takeout. We never eat there because we have to keep the journey going.
Gotta go.
And of course, everybody uses fake names when you order the food.
Why, because they call your name out?
They call your name out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm always Randy S. or for Randy Savage.
I get
or
it.
Bobby H. And Jeff, what name do you usually use?
Oh, like Jake or something like that. Jake S. or something like that.
Oh, the rape dick.
Yeah.
It'll be Rape Dick this week.
The rape dick, your
This is
Rachel's
what I have
ready.
to look forward to. Rape dicks and Rubens.
Right. And you got to use your fake name.
I think
to
you
order.
get the name of the next episode.
Bueller.
Exactly. So then everybody gets their junk and we get in the car and we eat it in the car because we have to make good time. Because we have a long way to go and a short time to get there. And we have to go through Connecticut, which we have to hit Hartford, then New Haven, and then by the time we get to Stamford, we pass the WWE headquarters on 95. The new building, which is very nice. That's when the traffic usually starts kicking in. And then once you get into New York State, we have to hang a right over the Tappan Zee Bridge, which is now the Governor Cuomo Memorial Bridge. And then we go to a place. By that time, everybody in the car is like, TC, I gotta go.
Spend a penny time.
And then we have to go to this gas station. And the reason we know that it's the same gas station, because everybody in the backseat is suffering, and it's in Suffering, New York. So we go to this, I think it's an AM, PM, I think. One bathroom, and you have to wait in line. All right. So usually
Hit a bush.
you can't, because the only thing there is a dumpster. So we have to get in
I'll be
there.
at a dumpster.
I usually buy a lottery ticket. Someone else buys a slush, or there's a Dunkin' Donuts in there, and they got to stock up on a crawler. It's like, dude, the convention.
If you didn't eat so much on this ride, you wouldn't have to go to the bathroom so
the
much.
convention's 45 minutes away.
Well, it's that continental breakfast larceny that they committed earlier in the morning.
Hey, at least it's fruit, okay? You're not walking out with pancakes and shit.
You never know.
No, I do know. So we get to the hotel, And then we get our tickets, and then they're off on their merry way. And then usually the show runs from 6 until about 11 o'clock. We all get in the car. Everybody's crying because they're not going to see these celebrities for another 6 months when they're back here pushing their stills
6
again.
p.m. the show opens.
At 5:30, the early bird.
Are you an early bird?
We always get in there early.
Okay.
We always get in there early. So we stock the places, find out where all these celebrities are going to be, and then they have their keys and they're waiting in line for these people who haven't even shown up yet. Then they get them and talk to them, and then go back again because you never know, they could have a different still out than 2 hours later.
Yeah.
So long story short, that goes for about 5 hours. We get back in the car and we go, and then we head off to look at CJ's face. And then we head off to the East Hannaford.
This is a long ride.
East Hanover Diner, which we used to go to the Whippany Diner, but their menu, and they closed early. So we said, fuck you, Whippany, and we went down the road because in New Jersey, there's a diner every 2 miles.
Yes.
So we found, what was it, the East Hanover Diner there, Jeff.
Yeah, it's just as good as the Whippany, but they're all good. They're all good.
And didn't we have a voodoo chick as our waitress one time?
Yeah. She something like that. Yeah, she was a gypsy lady and everything. She was giving me and John the evil eye or something like that. And like,
You don't tip me.
Oh, fuck are you? Where my tip?
Now, Dana, who, like we made mention, love Dana. He looks like Winnie the Pooh, okay? A real life Winnie the Pooh. And as soon as he gets down, what does he always do, Jeff?
Vomits.
You're kidding.
No, he doesn't vomit, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He does this every time we go to a restaurant. I don't know if he does it at the deli, but he sits down and he grabs the waitress. He goes, I will need 4 glasses of ice water and as many napkin as you can because, as you can see, I sweat a lot.
Oh, my God.
So-
We'll take 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
So he's wiping the sweat down and pounding the water. And everybody orders their shit, and a lot of it is shit. It's good shit, but it's shit. And we're there for at least an hour and a half, woofing this stuff down. But not just eating. They're all examining their stills. Did you notice that the Sharpie writing on this one is a little different than the one you got?
I'm surprised
Oh,
they would bring them
break
up
it
with
down.
Oh, this is like a science to them. I go for the fun. This is the best part of the trip. Forget about going to the chiller. It's cool meeting the celebrities. When they do
This is the real show.
This is when they do full friggin' forensics on these autographs.
Oh, man.
Why don't you bring them in here for a post-chiller podcast?
Oh, well, it's not until the end of October, so.
But still,
We can do it.
You'll definitely come in here because you'll be like,
Well, I know CJ will, but I mean, bring these guys in.
oh, they won't do it.
Why?
Dana might, but the other crew won't.
Why? What's their problem?
Because when I had the
They
TV
mic
show,
shy?
when I had the TV show, you know what their excuse was?
What?
What if the celebrities recognize me?
Oh, come on.
God's honest truth. God's honest truth. So Dana
celebrity.
will probably get in here. Dana
Christian Bale watches that show regularly.
how do you know he could?
He could, but I doubt it.
Okay, then after we leave the diner,
Oh, we haven't even hit the fucking hotel yet?
no, we're after the hotel. This is after the
Oh.
hotel. This is after the show. This
After
is
the
the
show,
right.
you got to eat again.
You're gonna eat again.
We're gonna eat again.
Well, it's like 6 hours after.
All
we
the weight you lost over the summer,
Yeah.
you're going to get it all back in October.
So we go to the diner, and remember last year? Remember those girls that were in their Halloween costumes, Jeff?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that was.
and these girls were like early
Wow.
20s, and they were like prime. And they're looking over at this table, and they're like, what the
Winnie the
fuck?
Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, and hey, that guy looks like John Candy from Vacation over there, Steve, and Mr. Bean.
Oh, man.
Hey, is that Paulie Walnuts?
Jeff will score.
Oh, definitely he will, because he got the medicine. So then we leave the diner, CJ. All right, and now we have in front of us, depending on traffic, a 5-hour journey home.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
I'm getting the douche chills over here.
Going dodging roadkill in northern New Jersey, or deers running out.
Oh, man.
And then when you got to go over the Tappan Zee Bridge again, now known
Right.
as the Governor Cuomo Bridge.
Okay.
And you get back in there, and then everything that was on the right is now on the left. Look, WWE is on the left. And then you realize once you pass the WWE, we got 3.5 hours still to go. And we stop off. Then we stop off.
Okay.
Before we stop off at the, is it Bridgeport? Yes, Stamford Bridgeport rest area where they have like gas stations and McDonald's and whatnot. And you know what they do?
Time to eat again.
They go to McDonald's.
Oh, how many times do we fucking eat on this trip?
Well, depending on if you made any this, but most of them. All right, so we stop
This
off.
says bonfire of the vanities written all over
All right,
it.
so then once we leave that rest area, we end up on the road until we get to a real rest area. And one of the autograph hounds takes us in there because it's a little convenience store, and he collects like model cars, and they have them on display there. And he had to go in there and get, what did he get last time? Like a school bus or something?
I'm not sure. Yeah, something like that.
Rochi
yeah.
is his name, Rochi.
I'm sure I was dead asleep at that point.
But he goes, we got to go in there. We got to go in there. I go, why do we got to go in there? He goes, this is where they sell those nice like mini cars and whatnot. Because he gets the autographs.
Like the Hess gas station truck?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
He gets the autographs on vehicles from movies. So if Christopher Lloyd was there, he'd get a DeLorean.
Right, okay,
You know, if
okay.
on
the packaging.
No, he'd open the car and have it on the car.
Oh, wow.
Remember a couple years ago, he was giving. We were waiting in line for Richard Dreyfuss. Remember the one I got for you?
Yes.
And he's like, DC, can you get this signed? And it was the hood of the truck that he drove in Close Encounters.
Wow.
And I'm like,
way.
Rochi, I got this one. He's like, shit, I gotta wait in line. So we stop at that rest area. Then we go one more stop back to the hotel so they can pick up their cars and whatnot in Framingham. And then it's just smooth sailing back to the Boston area.
Now, what's the rules for breaking wind in this car?
There isn't any. There isn't any.
No, nothing. No huge rules have been violated just yet.
Okay, well, that's good.
Right. There's no huge rules.
All this breakfast food, you know.
No.
Should I
That's why
stock up on the pine trees?
that's why we have the ARVs, the average restroom visits.
Yeah, okay.
So
I don't know.
So that's a trip. So basically, using me as an example, because I'm the one that usually drives down and drives back. By the time it's all said and done, I've dropped everybody off and pulled in front of Restani Manor. I've been up now for about 25 to 6 hours.
I couldn't do it.
And that happens twice a year. But this year, Superman CJ over there is coming down. So CJ, I said, you drive down, I'll take a couple naps in the car, and I will drive home.
Hope it's a good sandwich.
I do too.
Oh yeah.
And then I got another 40 minutes on that, Rick.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? See, there you go.
And I'm going to be sound asleep.
No, you know what we're going to do? when we come back to the Boston area, we're going to pull right in front of Ricky Bittman in the Winnebago and just hit the horn.
There you go.
All right? And maybe I'll drop Winnie the Pooh and all the rest of them off.
I'm gonna text you pictures of me under nice warm covers,
There you go.
as Paul Helen used to say.
Well, there you go. That you asked for it. There is.
I love that story. It just reminds me
the
why I
chiller
don't
rundown from the pro. The chiller rundown.
And Jeff and I we're like seasoned vets. In this.
Oh no, there's no question.
We
you
have
guys.
done this now probably twice a year since what 1997 or 8.
Yeah,
You couldn't
something like
stay and
that,
make a
yeah.
weekend out of it though.
We did that once.
Just once, huh?
Do you know why we only did that once? No, actually, we
'cause
did,
Bull was
we did it a few times. I'm not saying we didn't do that. One of them was Bull.
Yeah.
And this was the time I rented the room. I paid for the room.
Oh yeah, that's
And somehow
hotels are a lot more expensive.
I had a room with him, which was great. He got the bed. I got the pull away.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you've never roomed with Bull, hopefully you never have.
I don't think unless I get put into that place that he's at now.
Never have. It's an adventure.
I'm sure it is.
All right. And that was the night that he was screaming in his sleep like he usually does. And when Bull snores, it isn't a constant snore. It's like one of those and then quiet for like 5 minutes and then again. So I couldn't stand it. So I actually had to leave the room. This was October of 2010. And it was cold. And I went down and slept in the car because I couldn't deal with it. And then it got too cold in the car, and I said, what the fuck am I doing out here? So I put on my headphones.
This is like stressing me out listening to this.
I went and put on my
I
headphones.
might have to reconsider this
Well,
trip.
since we're not going overnight, and we're not bringing Bull, thank God. I went upstairs, and I got like 2 hours of sleep, because we were going into Manhattan the next day, and I would have to be up for another like 20 hours.
Man.
So I wake up that morning to the worst smelling stench I've ever smelled my entire life.
I can
The
imagine.
night before, Bull had a meatloaf. Not a slice,
Would he shit himself?
a meatloaf. No, he was in the toilet. but it was the worst smell. I woke up like someone put a foghorn to my head. I woke up immediately, and I said, I was like, whoa, what the hell is that? And he's like, I'm in the bathroom. I go, you haven't showered yet? No, I'm going first.
Oh.
Because some critters and shit are going to fall off of you in that thing. All right, so that was my stay with Bull. But Jeff, you've roomed with Bull, haven't you?
No. Well, yeah, I have and everything, but he was wearing a sleep apnea mask,
Oh,
so I caught a break.
You should have Chief Bromden him with the pillow there. So yeah, well, remember Signature Boy Donnie?
Yes.
The kid who got all the autographs. No, he's not dead.
Oh, the other
Dave
one.
is
I'm
dead.
sorry.
We drove him. He wanted to come with us. We said, "You're rooming with Bull." That's okay. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
No
everyone
problem.
always thinks it's cool.
Then the next morning,
With the smell?
So the screaming starts and the running.
He didn't sleep at all, Donnie, because he came down and go, "How was it?" He goes, "Pretty much."
I was like, what the hell is that?
I go, "What happened?" He goes, "We were in bed, separate beds, and we were chatting, and then
Had to throw that in.
I try to." Well, you never know. I try to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden he did the snoring thing, like you said, and then it was quiet.
Oh.
And
Like he died in his sleep.
I go, yeah. Then all of a sudden, he just randomly wakes up screaming at the top of his lungs, and he hit his head on the bedpost, and he starts bleeding on the pillow.
Oh, no. Fuck this. What am I signed up for?
And then the next day, we went into New York,
I
and
couldn't do it.
And that was the day. That was the infamous day that night Bull became Forrest Dump. When
I remember you telling me
when
this.
Bull actually had a little poo-poo accident in front of Tom
In front
Hanks.
of Tom Hanks, yeah.
So that's a different story for a different time. God bless you, Bull. We love you out there.
Of course we do.
Yes.
But you've made
The
life
legend.
very interesting. But none of that you have to worry about, CJ, because we're not staying over.
Right.
Bull's not going with us. The most you'll have is when you're trying to sleep in the car and the autograph collectors are going to be taking out their stills with their little phone lights looking at their pictures.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure you'll be buying like little movies. Or there's a huge flea market, and you'll be able to find retro movies that you haven't seen in a while. But that's what I'm usually
I'm down
running
for
around.
that. I've just been I just took a final count the other day of all of my DVDs, VHSs, and stuff at the house. 9,000 movies in my collection.
Do you have Rape Pillow?
I don't. I gotta get a rape kit pillow. for
You
the
know who
ride.
you're going to meet down there?
Who?
Jeff, who's he going to meet down there at the Chiller?
The animal? No, he's
dead.
He's dead. So it's got to be that little guy. Well, his name's not Mario, but
Vinny.
Vinny. Yeah. I knew he had some kind of Italian name.
Vinny looks like
Is he a hound?
he's a hound, but he's in a Lark. You know those motorized scooters?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guests.
No.
motorized scooter.
No. I'm talking about Vinny.
Who's Vinny?
You know what? You guys converse. I'm going to find a picture.
Does his mother ride on the back of the scooter?
No, but he.
Close,
but we've known Vinny forever.
He's one of the hounds.
Yeah, Vinny reminds us. You may not. None of you are going to remember who the jackal was. So no. So he's like a jackal on the mobile wheels. But continue, Ricky. The helm is yours. While I look up to find a picture.
Well, all this talk has got me thinking we're planning on going up to Sports World.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
Later this month to see Jerry Mathers,
The Beaver.
Yeah.
the Beaver.
Yeah,
We're going to go see the
excellent.
Beaver.
I still watch every single morning. It's
a great show.
I still tune in every morning.
Same creators as the Munsters. That's why I always thought it was a very funny show. Now, the first episode of Leave It to Beaver aired on October 4th, 1957, and it was canceled after one season.
Why?
Just was no ratings.
The show was only up in one season.
Yeah, well, no, ABC picked it up, and it ran steadily from 1958 through June of 1963. They never broke into the Nielsen ratings, top 30, and it's all of its six seasons. Not once did it break into
Really?
the Nielsen ratings. But it became hugely popular in reruns.
It's kind of like Taxi. Remember Taxi?
Yeah, Taxi took
was
a
on
struggle.
ABC.
Cult following when it goes into syndication.
It was on ABC, and then they canceled it, and then NBC picked it. Remember Louis De Palma was doing promos?
Oh, I do.
Same show, better network.
Beaver ran 234 episodes.
234
234
episodes.
episodes, Leave It to Beaver. And there were two, whatchamacallits, urban legends tied to Leave It to Beaver. You know, everyone knows one of them.
Okay, the one of them was Harrison Ford was on it. Remember that was supposed to be
Oh
one
no,
of them?
this one's more deep than that. This is the
Oh.
You must know this one, Jeff. It kind of ties into the world of porn.
Ooh.
No. Shoot away, my friend.
For the longest time, it was believed that actor Ken Osmond, known as Eddie Haskell, was actually in real life had grown up to be John Holmes.
I can see that.
And it was people bought into that in a very big way, and he had to dispute it and everything.
Wasn't he a cop though?
He was.
He
He
turned
said
out
it
to
was
be a cop. or
John
something.
Holmes or
No, Eddie Haskell.
It was a pain in my ass for 11 years, says Osmond, who brought a $25 million defamation suit against Pornhouse producers and distributors because I guess they used that in the tagline of some of their films.
See the Beaver's Beaver?
Exactly, for, Eddie Haskell. So he won a court case.
Wow.
But and the other one was the thing where it was widely believed that Beaver had been Jerry Mathers had been killed in Asia,
Like
somewhere.
Vietnam or something?
Yeah. So.
Okay, here's the break for here's Vinny.
Oh dear God!
All right.
He looks like a nice.
Well,
enough
he's a
fella.
great guy. We're not going to show the picture on the air because we like Vinny.
Yeah.
There's Vinny.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Vinny's awesome. We love Vin. Vinny.
Kind of got that Sons of Anarchy.
He's
look.
got a look to him. When those other guys that we were talking
Sons
about.
of Anarchy meets Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, meets. What was John Rhys Davies' names in the Lord of the Rings?
Oh yeah.
Gimli, Gimlick, or whatever his name was.
Gimli. The
Gimli,
dwarf.
yeah.
Gimli. Yeah, that's
No,
who
he does. He has a look.
does
I'm
have
going
a
to guarantee you, one of these other guys you pick up, either at South Station or Framingham, one of them's going to show up in their pajamas.
You
Okay.
kid. Winnie the Pooh.
It wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me.
Teletubby onesie. I got it on sale.
Or you can have underoos and have them autographed by somebody.
Take it
off. That's fascinating. Now, do you know there's a wrestling connection to Jerry Mathers?
I don't.
It was one of his wives or ex-wives and whatnot. JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield,
Yeah, Jesus.
hooked up with him or her.
Yeah.
And I guess they always used to kid him backstage. Hey, you nailed the Beaver's Beaver. Which,
Well, it's a small world.
after all, so that's some fascinating stuff you have there. Now you know you're very excited about meeting Jerry Mathers.
I am. My older sister, God rest her soul, she passed away. We watched that show a lot together, and when she retired, she used to tell me, I said, so what's it like down in Florida? She goes, oh, well, Brian, her husband, would get up and do his ablutions in the morning, go off on his bike and everything. She was a very notorious late sleeper. She'd sleep till 10 o'clock or whatever. She'd get up, put the kettle on. By the time the kettle, she'd be back in front of the TV, watch 2 episodes of Leave It to Beaver, and then she would start her day.
Wow.
It's nice to be retired. But
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, why Leave It to Beaver? Why did that show hit home?
it was just, it became widely popular. It was on after school by the time we were at that age. It had been off the air for probably, 20, 30 years when we first started watching it. And it was a funny show.
I remember the new Leave It to Beaver. Remember
Terrible,
that?
terrible.
Jeff, you must remember that.
Yeah, 1 or 2 episodes. I didn't get into it and everything, but I just remember the wholesomeness of the original.
Yeah. I feel like asking him, though, I said, why did Beaver get so stupid as he got older?
Because he was the Beaver.
But still, he was smart. He was like he was a cool, smart kid. And then as he got older, everything was like, gee, he was stupid.
Like Ward was the star at the beginning and
True.
everything. Remember, Hugh Beaumont and everything. He was the star and
it
everything.
was his
And
show.
It was his story. Yeah, in his
He was
world.
great. He was great.
He looked like Vince McMahon.
You think so?
Yeah, if they were going to do a biopic, well, I can't do it now.
No.
But getting back to another wrestling connection to Leave It to Beaver, just came into my head as I'm looking at that beautiful belt you have over there. At the very first Clash of the Champions in the NWA, which took place exactly the same time as WrestleMania 5.
Okay.
So that would have been March 27th, 1988.
Amazing.
WrestleMania was on pay-per-view. That was the one where Macho Man became the world champion. Sting, who was a nobody at the time,
Right.
took on Ric Flair
Yes.
for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The belt that I'm looking at right now that's over there.
I just rewatched that, as a matter of fact, that Great American Bash.
They had 3 judges at ringside
Yep.
in case it went to a tiebreaker and whatnot.
Yeah.
The 3 judges were Eddie Haskell.
Yep.
What was his real name?
Ken Osmond.
Ken Osmond. Who was the girl who played Frankenhooker?
Oh, shit.
Like it'll come to me in a second.
She was a penthouse pet at the time.
Wow.
This is before Frankenhooker. Well, Jeff Ponder's on that. The third one was the kid from the Wonder Years, Jason Hervey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he was banging
He's a big
Missy
mouth.
Hyatt
He's a
at
big
the
mouth
time
for wrestling. Yeah.
So those were the three judges.
I remember
were.
that, yeah.
And it's like, where did they come up with
Yeah.
these three? I mean, I could see Ken Osmond as the Patty Mullen.
Patty
Mullen, yeah.
Remember, we have a story about Patty Mullen. We won't talk about now, but it had something to do with the signature boy. Patty Mullen, Ken Osmond, and Jason Hervey were the three the three judges.
That was
Probably a nice little paycheck for them.
I mean, it was the only reason I know Ken Osmond was there because Leave It to Be was just acquired by TBS, so that was airing 14 times a day, along with Andy Griffith. So that's why they had Ken there. I have no idea why they had to play with the Penthouse Pet there, and Jason Hervey because he was tapping Missy Hyatt at the time. So that's when I'm looking at that belt. Can we talk about this?
Absolutely, yeah. That's the big gold belt.
That's the big gold belt. Now, your nephew's not going to listen.
No.
Okay,
Don't.
all right. So we can let the cat out.
Just don't tag me in any posts on social media.
I won't do that.
Because he would probably see that because he does follow me on. Although I'm not on Twitter much anymore because I kind of had to take a break from it.
Oh, yeah. You guys should talk about that next. Now, why the big championship belt? What's the history behind this?
The history behind the actual belt
not
or
the
why
belt
I
itself.
got
I know why you got it.
Well, my nephew's getting married in Aruba. Aruba, yeah, and I'm performing the ceremony down there for him and his lovely bride. And I just said to myself, when they have the after party and all the guys are throwing down, drinking their beers and laughing and taking pictures, I'm going to come on, I'm going to tell everybody. Now, the deal was, when he was a young boy, he was too little for me to take to the garden. I used to take my nephews all to the garden. He was too small, and I had to break it to his mother. And his mother understood, because some mothers like, no, if you're not taking them all, you can't take this one. So she understood.
How old was he at the time?
I'm not good with that. He was like maybe 5 or 6.
Oh, no way could you be around that crowd.
Yeah, and his brother was 10,
That place was a
and his other
nut
cousin
house.
was 12, so they were older, 13 around there. So, and I just said, if something happened, I just couldn't deal with it. But so we probably went to the matches, the bunch of us, about maybe 6 or 7 times. So it was a big deal, kind of. And he never got to go. And he remembers that. He mentions it every now and then. So I'm going to say, well, hopefully this makes up for the fact that I couldn't take you to the matches.
That's awesome.
And I think it will.
100%.
You didn't even take me to the matches. You can get me one.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
We got a picture on the screen during this?
We got actually, if you're looking at the screen right there is CJ wearing the belt on the screen right now. You're the world's champion of the rundown, CJ.
Everyone take a picture with it. Because
You are the expert of pop culture, correct?
I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Well, you and Jeff could be the
well
pop culture tag
acclimated
team
with
champions without a shadow of
pop
doubt.
culture.
So that belt is pop culture. It's been
It
around
is,
for 38
yeah.
years.
No, that's amazing.
It debuted in 1986 on TBS when
Yeah.
Ric Flair was given to
my
it
favorite of all time.
by the Crockett promotion.
Me too. And I was telling TC that, and he said that Ric Flair's kind of...
I always liked him. I just liked the way I liked everything about his style.
No. In the 1980s and early
I love
90s,
him.
Ric
Yeah.
Flair was awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying he has tarnished his reputation and his
Well, yeah,
legacy
he's...
by now, because he has
So's the Hulk.
Well, the Hulk doesn't have 4 ex-wives. He has 2. And that's why Ric Flair's outside an autographs for $300 a weekend.
Yeah.
I met Ric Flair, Barnes & Noble, a couple years ago with Charlotte, and they signed my book. Very nice people.
Yeah, I imagine. He always seems very gracious.
Jeff has a picture with him. Remember that one we had down?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to meet him someday.
It was-
Yeah, he was, very cool.
It was the picture. You can see that. I actually think if I find the picture, it's on the screen.
Okay.
And Jeff, you're wearing your vest with all your little patches on it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Patches.
And you know what the historic significance of the day that you took that picture was?
Well, I know I also met I met the guy who played the Beastmaster on that day too.
Well, that is also significant. But for pop culture people, that was the day Adam West died.
Oh.
And they announced
Oh
it.
yes, I remember everybody at the convention talking about it. Yes.
They announced it we were down in Connecticut at some, was it Mohegan Sun or Foxwoods? I think it was Foxwoods.
Yeah.
And they mentioned, Comic-Con. They go, we like to break the news to you that we just found out that Adam West, Batman himself, has passed away at the age of 80, whatever.
Terrible. Bringing everyone down.
Wow.
And
You met Adam West, didn't you?
several times, yeah. Quincy,
I
you know what?
would've loved to
You know who we're gonna bring in to talk about Adam West?
You know what? Let me
host of
slip
Batcast.
out and let Quincy jumping
Well, no, actually, you
in
were
my
the one
bucket for a minute.
You have to go do an errand?
Yeah, I'm just going to pee.
Oh, well,
right
everybody's got
back.
to go. Quincy, get your ass in here, buddy.
What are you rehearsing for the ride down to Parsippany?
Parsippany. All right, get in here. Get in here, Quincy, as he's sucking water down in front of CJ. He's got to go to the bathroom. Now, Quincy, you have met one of your heroes. Remember, 100 years ago.
Batcast!
Of course, Quincy Briscoe hosts his own Batcast show, which you can find on YouTube. But remember the day you met Adam West.
Of course I remember.
Can you give us the details of that?
Yeah, I didn't have to wait in line very long, and then when I got to the line, it says, I remember you were in the movie called Hooper, and I can remember you in Batman. And he says, word for word, like, oh my God, he remembers my whole checkered career. and then I got a very special autograph, and then someone says, I'll give someone an autograph. We could just get him out of here. And
Well, you know why?
Well, you wouldn't let go of the guy's hand.
That's right. Look at the picture on the screen. You're like you're gripping the Adam West's hand. You wouldn't let go. I mean,
that's because I gave him the firm business handshake.
yeah, but
how you do it.
you were holding his hand for like 20 minutes. The guy was like, crime fighter, can I have my hand back?
I said, crime never pays. And it's just like, I attracted more attention than he himself did.
Yeah, I agree.
And
that wasn't
just
even
like I
it.
did with another actor that I'd known and loved who passed on, Burt Reynolds. I stood in front of the Trans Am doing some of his best clips, and I attracted more attention in his audiences than he did.
He must have loved that. He attended Elvis's funeral.
Did he?
Yeah, I just found that out recently.
Well, we should have talked about that on the Elvis program.
I just found out about it the other day.
And remember who else wasn't very friendly to you was Robin.
Yeah, it's like, how
What's
come?
his problem?
He was a dick. And wasn't his name Dick on the show?
Yeah, Dick Grayson.
Yeah, he was Dickhead that day.
All I did was ask, is there anything else you do when Batman's over? It's like, no. It's like, why not? No work. It's like, I'm just trying
He
to
must have loved that, huh?
Yeah, I'm just like sounding like the real crime fighter that I am, and I made a lot of Bat fans.
You did. You made a lot of Bat fans that day, and it was fantastic. So, Quincy, it's come to that time. I know CJ's in the bathroom right now. We'll have to wrap the show up, but can you give us a wrap up right now, Quincy Briscoe?
Sure. First of all, as I was always say, we hope you've enjoyed this very outstanding episode with our very guest that we got to have tonight.
CJ, right.
CJ.
He's on the throne.
And we know we're going to see him again soon, but for the present, please drive home carefully. And remember, we never close.